So I'm just in the middle of packing. My flight to Beijing is tomorrow. I think that my method of packing could possibly be the worst method ever. I literally throw everything I even slightly want to bring onto my bed and I'm left with a colossal amount of clothes. So I'm just sifting through it and trying to focus on the essentials and the most important things, which I also want to share with you. So this is the huge pile of clothes I'm currently making my way through, and I have my list here and I'm going to talk you through it now. The first thing I want to say is always check how much baggage you're actually allowed to bring. I remember my first time to go to China, I think we were allowed 30. I turned up with 31.5 thinking like, who cares, but I did actually have to remove a few things. So always check how much you're allowed to bring. I usually ring up the airline or else email so I can kind of get it in writing, because it can be a little bit confusing with some airlines. But usually you'd have about 23, 25 or 30 if you're lucky. But it's very important to know so that you're not stuck at the airport with too much. I'd also recommend asking your school on the general dress code for teaching. I'd presume that some schools are quite formal while some schools are quite casual, so it's definitely specific to your school and it'd be a good idea to ask them so you can prepare before you go. So obviously the type of clothes that you bring depends on the part of China that you're going to. So if you're going to the south, generally there's warm weather all year round, whereas if you're going to the likes of Beijing, it gets extremely hot in the summer and quite cold in the winter. So most of the bigger cities would have Zara, H&M, you might find a Stradivarius, Pull & Bear. There's actually a sneaky Topshop in Beijing somewhere that I still haven't found. So generally they do have most of the shops that your home country would have, but it's always good to bring over some of your favorite items and some items that are more specific to you. So for me, I'm 6 foot tall, so there is no hope I will find a pair of jeans that long in China. So if you're extremely tall, I would recommend bringing over your own pairs of jeans. Also, in terms of shoes, I'd say if you're anything above a size 7, you will struggle to find shoes in China. Generally, you can only really find a size 7 and below. Also, there is no fake tan in China. I stand corrected on this one, but I have searched high and low in Beijing for fake tan and it's just not a thing. And also the likes of makeup, they don't have a huge makeup range in China. Generally they're for whiter skin, or they have bleaching properties in them, or they're not really the brands that you're used to, so I always bring over enough makeup to last me the time that I'm there. They do have the likes of MAC and Sephora and stuff, but generally they can be quite expensive due to the fact that they're imported, so I would recommend bringing over your favourite ones just in case you can't find them. So generally almost all of the skincare products in China have bleaching properties. I've never actually chanced it myself, so I don't know how effective the bleaching properties are, but I always bring over a big tub of my moisturiser, maybe 2, and a couple of skincare products to keep me going. So another essential thing is an offline dictionary. So there's an app that you can get on your phone called Pleco. I'll put a picture of it here. And it's just really handy. You don't need any Wi-Fi to use it. You just search the word and it shows it. It's really, really handy when you're in a situation that you can just show them what you're trying to say and they'll understand. Also, on the topic of phones, I'd recommend contacting your mobile provider in Ireland to unlock your mobile phone before you go, so as that you can get a Chinese SIM card straight away. When you get to the airport, your Irish debit or credit card generally works in the ATMs. There is a branch of ATMs in Beijing called ICBC, and that generally is the one that works best for me. I've never had any trouble with it. But I would recommend going into your bank maybe 5 days before you go and ordering like 20-30 euro of Chinese renminbi. You could get a couple of hundred worth of Chinese renminbi just in case you're nervous about your card, but generally they always work in the ICBC ATMs. Also, I would inform your bank in Ireland that you are travelling, because sometimes if somebody uses your card in a foreign country and you don't tell them that you're moving to China, they'll block your card and you're left with no access to your money. So just ring them up or else leave a note on your account. Generally you can do it online and just say that you're moving to China. So on mainland China, you cannot access the likes of Facebook and Google and Instagram and stuff without a VPN. The VPN I use is called ExpressVPN, and you do have to pay for it. You can pay for it monthly, or you can just pay, I think it's like 80 euro for a year, I'm not sure. But there are a lot of free ones in the web store, in the app store. I just don't think they work as well, so I've always just bought the ExpressVPN, and you can use this on up to 5 devices as far as I know. So if you've got a laptop, iPad, phone, you can get all of them. Also, it's essential that you have WeChat before you arrive. This is like the Chinese WhatsApp, Facebook, My Taxi. It's your bank, This app can literally do everything, so it's really important to have that before. And also there are a lot of Irish groups on this app, such as GA teams for Beijing and Shanghai. There's an Irish Network China, which keeps you up to date with any events going on in regards to like St. Patrick's Day or anything like that. So maybe you can get added into those groups before you go, or give them a Google or check out the websites and you should find them. Another important thing would be tea bags. I know China is literally the factory of tea, but you won't find Barry's or Lyons tea over there. There are some English brands in the imported shops, but I always just bring over a few Barry's tea bags. In terms of posting things over, I've gotten parcels posted over and posted things over before. It's not usually that expensive, but you are running the risk of it getting lost. Thankfully none of mine ever have, but I have heard of friends' packages getting lost. So they're the most essential things that I think you need to know before you go. Don't worry too much. It's a huge country. You're going to find anything that you really need there. There's a huge amount of imported shops, especially in the bigger cities. So yeah, they're the things that I think are most important that you need to know before you move to China. And I guess I'll see you in China. Bye.